Hello everyone, welcome to challenge number 4 of the July daily challenges. For those of you who don't know, we are conducting daily challenges every day in the month of July up until a certain, I think it's 16th or 15th of July. Basically every day we are going to release one daily challenge regarding Code Vita. This is very specific to Code Vita. We're going to release one daily challenge every day, and today we are in day 4. For those of you who didn't know about this, you can go ahead and start right now. You can still be on top of the leaderboard if you finish tomorrow's challenge before everybody else finishes tomorrow's challenge, so you can still be on top of the leaderboard. So don't think that because I missed out on this, I am I have to wait for the next daily challenge. You can still do it. The major objective of these daily challenges is to make you familiar with Code Vita and all of the different concepts that Code Vita asks. So the challenge number 4 was called Supreme Competition. So that's here on this side. Yep. And so it's called Supreme Competition. Just to get everybody through with the rules again, we have a new challenge opening up every day at 10:30. You all can sign up here on this link, which is also mentioned in the description below. So you can all sign up for that as well. All of them are Code Vita concepts. And another thing, if you are not confident about Code Vita, if you want to learn more about Code Vita, then all the concepts that require in Code Vita, you can go and sign up for this course over here. That's the Edist Code Vita course. It's available on this link, also in the description below. And we have an early bird offer right now. You can get for 2499 instead of 2999. This will not be there for much long. We extended it only because Code Vita extended their deadline as well. So that's why we extended it. A lot of mentor support and a lot of practice questions are there for you here. So you can go ahead and check that out. So coming to today's question, it's called Supreme Contest, which is the actual name in Code Vita is called Marathon Winner. And it's a Code Vita 2019 contest, Code Vita 2019 question. So let's get right into it and check how to solve this question. So I'll just open it up on the Edist platform. And to open it up on the Edist platform, what you need to do is go to this link here, right? And that's the link that I mentioned below, bit.ly/edist-july-dc. You can go and sign up for that. And the moment, you sign up for this, you click the Start Coding Now button, you will open up this page. So it will be this page that will open up for you. So more than 200 people have already solved this question. So we are going to discuss this question right now. So this is called Supreme Competition. This is the question we're going to discuss. It's a fairly simple question actually. It's a very implementation heavy question, but not really a lot of new concepts to do. So it's simple. We'll just go through the question. Basically, it's talking of a race. And in a race, there are some people running, but in this race, we are not going to judge who's won the race by who's at the end of the race in the leading position, but rather we will check it every 2 seconds, right? So we're going to check it out every 2 seconds, and every 2 seconds we'll see who is in the lead, and whoever is in the lead the most number of times will win. So for example, for 7 seconds we'll check 2, 4 and 6 seconds. For 8 we'll check 2, 4, 6, 8. For 5 we'll check 2, 4. So basically only at the even intervals we are checking it, right? Now our task is to predict who is the winner in this marathon. Okay, so let's look at this example here, right? This 8 talks about how many are the instances. So you have here 2, 2, 4, 3, 5, 2, 6, 2. So that means that there are 8 seconds totally for which the race has lasted, right? And we want to check every second. So for example, we'll check here at this point, then we'll check at at this point here, at this point here 3, 4, 2, and then at 2, 9, 5, then at 2, 2, 2. What is this last digit here? 3, 2, 4. The last digit tells us that particular racer, how many steps that person, or how much distance, how many kilometers that person covers in one step, right? So for example, this person covers 3 kilometers per one step, and so if that person has taken 2 steps here, that means that person has covered 6 kilometers. So for example, at the end of the second interval, this person has covered 2 steps, right? Which means he's covered 6 kilometers. This person has covered 8 steps. 8 into 2 is 16, which means that person has covered 16 kilometers. And this person has covered 3 steps, and 3 into 4, 12 gives us 12 steps, right? Or 12 kilometers. Now the thing to notice here is, even though this person covered 4 steps and this person covered 3 steps, they both are in the tie position because they both covered 12 kilometers. So don't just go by the number of steps that somebody has taken, but rather check how many are the kilometers they have covered. That is what you have to do. So at this position, racer number 2 is in the lead. so we'll just go through the explanation because it's been given for each one of them, right? So at second position 12, 16, 12, so that means that at the second 16, that is the index number 2 is in the lead. In the fourth second, again index number 2 is in the lead. So how many times is index 2 in the lead? 2 times. At sixth second, index 3 is suddenly in the lead because this index now has covered 84 kilometers or meters, whatever you want to say, it doesn't matter. And at time 8, number 3 has covered 104 kilometers, which means that the winner has to be either 2 or 3 because both of them were in the lead. Doesn't matter that 3 covered more kilometers. What it matters is if in the second and in the fourth second, number 2 was in the lead. In the third, in the sixth and the 8th second, number 3 was in the lead. So now if we have 2 people at the same thing, so for example, if we get a tie, who does this question, if participant 2 and 3 are both leading with same number, participant 2 will be the winner. Why? Because if number of times someone is leading is same for 2 or more participants, then the one who comes first in the input sequence will be the winner. So the one who came first is going to be the winner. That is in the input sequence. So we check when we're taking input who comes first. Well, here the indexes are index 1, 2, 3, or you could even give it 0, 1, 2, but actually it starts from 1, 2, 3 as per the question. So index number 2 came first, therefore this is the winner, right? So basically it's a simple arrays and a frequency question, as I have told you all before. They will not ask you a straightforward question on arrays. They will combine all of these arrays, maximum, minimum, frequency, all of these concepts together to give you the best, to give you a tricky question. Okay, so just coming to our slides, right? Let's go through the explanation of this, and many of you would have already found a good explanation, would have thought, yeah, this is pretty simple, it's nothing much. So I'll just go one by one, step by step on this. So let me just do that. So number 1, we have to check at every 2 seconds, right, who is at the lead. The person who is in the lead the most number of times is winner. If we have tie, then we go by the index value. Pretty straightforward. If you didn't get it, just rewind a bit and you'll understand how this logic came about, right? So this is what we have to do, except that we don't have who is in the lead most number of times easily. That means you have to calculate every time who is in the lead at that second, right? Because we are given everyone's steps and the distance covered per step. We are not necessarily given who is at what position, right? So you're not given this much distance has been covered. It says these many steps have been covered and this person on average covers these many steps in this distance, right? Not on average, just generally it's given that. Okay, so for example, if I give you 1, 1, what it means is that at the end of the first second, somebody did 1 step. At the end of the second second, somebody again did 1 step. Totally, they've covered 2 steps. And 2 steps, how much distance do they cover in this? Probably they cover 10 kilometers per step, right? So in that case, they've covered 20 kilometers so far. So the first thing we need to get is at every second, at which distance is every racer, right? So at each second, at which distance is every racer, that's what we have to get. So that's what we'll do. How do we find anyone's distance covered at a particular point, or very specifically at a particular second, right? Well, we take the total number of steps so far and multiply into distance covered per step. So for example, if somebody has these distances, right, in the first second they covered 1 step, in the second they covered 10 steps, then 4 steps, then 9 steps, and let's say per step they cover 3 kilometers. That means at the end of the first one they have covered 3 kilometers. At the end of the second one, they have covered 33 kilometers. Why? Because they were already at 3 kilometers and you add another 30 kilometers here. So that's 33 kilometers over here. Then you will check how much is this, 3 into 4, 12 plus 33, which is 45. 3 9s are 27 plus 45 is 72. Why did we do 3 into 9? Because the number of the distance covered by per step is 3 kilometers. So that's a simple equation that we will do. The best way to do this is, like some of you, what you did was you took 3 as the first one, because 1 into 3. Then what you did was you took sum of this again and took 1 plus 10, 11 into 3, 33. Then you again took sum of this 1 plus 10 plus 4, which is 15 into 3, which is 45. Then you again took this entire sum and then multiplied into 3. Instead of that, you already have this 3, right? What you need to do is multiply 3 into 10 plus 3, which will give you 33. Then 3 into 4 plus 3, which will give you 45. 3 into 9, 27 plus 45 will give you 72, right? So basically, don't calculate the sum again and again. If you have the sum so far, all you need to do is multiply the new incoming steps with the distance and then go forward. The other important thing to realize is we actually don't care about 3 and 45. What we actually care is about 33 and 72 in terms of deciding who's the winner, because we don't check the first second and the third second, rather we check the second second and the fourth second and then the sixth second, then eighth second, and so on, right? Okay, so what's the solution approach for this? Well, first of all, we'll take the input of each step. For each person, create a list of distances covered, right? So just as I've shown you right now, you have the list of the steps they have taken. From that, generate a new list of distance covered, right? Then check at every even index who has the maximum distance. So for example, let's say you have 5 racers, right? Let's say A, B, C, D, E. Then you will check A of 2 or A of 1, because your list starts indexing from 0, right? So A of 1, so it's not actually even index here. Technically, it's going to be odd index, right? So it's going to be an odd index over here, not an even index, right? And why? Because we want to check at every even second, because we start from 0. That's why we're doing from odd index. So you will check A of 2, B of 2, C of 2, D of 2, E of 2, who has the maximum, right? And let's say A has the maximum, then A has been in the lead one time. Then you'll again check A of 4, B of 4, sorry, I'll just recap. What I meant to say was, you'll check A of 1, B of 1, C of 1, D of 1, E of 1. And in that, whoever has the maximum, you will choose that. Let's say A has it. So A is in the lead one time. Then the next time you'll check A of 3, B of 3, C of 3, D of 3, E of 3. Who has the maximum at that time? Let's say B has. So now A has been in the lead one time, B has been in the lead one time. Obviously, do not create a new list for every racer, in the sense otherwise you'll need to know how many racers are there. Rather, you can just use the 2D list, or what I did was I used a dictionary in Python, which I'll show you. But you could use a 2D list, you could use a you could use a map, you could use whatever you want, right? Now then, once you have who has been in the lead how many times, choose that racer who has been in the lead the most number of times but has the least index. Okay, and I'll show this to you in the code, because this is actually pretty much all you have to do. You have to again and again take a lot of frequencies. Fairly straightforward approach in arrays and lists, but it's mainly in the implementation part. So let me just open up the Edis platform and show you where you can also check the solution. I'll also go through the solution one by one, but you can also unlock the solution here. It's in the hint section. I'll just click unlock, and yes, I lose the points. I don't really care about the points myself. But you all will lose the points if you will go and access the solution. So let me just go step by step. What I'm doing is I'm creating a dictionary for steps, which what it does is, for each participant it stores their steps basically, right? And I eliminate the last one. Because that is the step size, right? So for each participant I got what is the step size, because in the question it says that the last input will be the step size, and these are all of the steps that person has taken, right? Now I will go through it again, and what I will calculate is, for each person I will calculate the distance they have covered, right? So because from the steps, the only thing I will get is how many steps they have taken in that interval. But what I want to know is, for the participant at the 0th index, how many distance they have covered, at the first index how much distance they have covered, and so on, right? So I will take the previous one, and I will add the current steps into the step size, right? That's what I will do. So this is exactly a repeat of what we were doing over here in this part. That is, this is a repeat of this. How did we generate 33? We had 3, we did 3 into 10 plus the previous one, so that becomes 33. 3 into 4, 12 plus the previous 33 is equal to 45. So to the previous one I will calculate the new distances, I will add the new distances, and I will store that. So that's what we have done over here. And what we're going to do is so then I've created another, this max distance is, I've created another dictionary to find out at this particular position, right, or at this particular second, who is in the max distance, right? So what is the max distance covered? You can leave this part out also, and you can use it doing 2D arrays. What I did was basically, at the first second, who has covered the maximum distance, at the third second, who has covered the maximum distance, at the fifth second, who has covered the maximum distance, and so on. That's what I've tried to do over here, right? Then what we're doing here is, we will check what is the maximum distance now we'll go second by second, and we'll check what is the maximum distance at that point. At the first second, what's the maximum distance? Great, we found the maximum distance. Now what we'll try to do is find out how many of the people had that maximum distance, right? And we'll try to increase that. So that's what we're doing here. Leading positions for each participant. How many of the participants had that leading position, right? And we'll increase their frequency by 1. Okay. That's what we are doing over here. So let's say if the maximum distance at the end of the first second is 10, check out all of the participants who had 10 as the maximum distance. And if you got 10 as the maximum distance, for all of them, they are all currently in the lead at this point. So increase theirs by 1, right? Finally, what we'll do is, we've got all of the participants, we'll check who all was in the lead at each point. If we got somebody who has the highest number of leading wins, great, we got it. If otherwise, if we've got somebody who is equal to the maximum wins, update it only if the index is lesser than the winning index, right? So we want the least index over here basically. So again, a fairly standard approach of finding the maximum and minimum number in a list, or in wherever, like you assume the first one to be the maximum and winner to be something, and then you keep going forward and checking if there is something greater than this. If there is, then go ahead with it, all right? So that's what we want to do. So that's how we solved this problem, and I'll just run it so that we can all see that it's working. So I'll just run that over here. 1 second. I'll write Python and just run this. Submit the code. All right, great. And so it does submit, right? So that's mainly it for this one. It was a fairly short one because if you had prior knowledge of arrays and a little bit of like map data structure or any other data structure, or just arrays, if you know a little bit of bucketing concept in arrays and frequencies, you can do this. If you don't, I highly suggest you start practicing on the Edist platform, on the Edist CodeVita course. There are many such questions like this, and a lot of people were able to solve this question quickly just because they saw it and saw, oh, this is pretty simple to solve, because they've seen the pattern before. If you struggled with this question for more than 30 or 40 minutes, it's a sign that you need to practice more such questions, and I would highly suggest you practice that. One of the avenues to practice that is on the Edist platform, which you can sign up on our course right away. Before I sign off for today, a huge congratulations to day 4 toppers, Satish Naidu and Satish Adabala. Again, I think they're friends, and they've been topping for 2 days continuously. So congratulations, guys. Mohammad Ansar, Prem and Shravani. Shravani, good to see you back on the leaderboard in the top 5. But Mohammad Ansar, Prem and Shravani also make up the top 5 for today. So that is the day 4s. So congratulations to you guys. Let's see who else can come in the top 5 pretty soon. See, these are the top 5 today, but you can actually start today. Complete the first 4 questions, and if you complete the 5th question tomorrow at the earliest before these people, then you can still be on top of the leaderboard. So till the last day you have a chance of being on the leaderboard. Don't miss out. Sign up today. The link for the signing up is in the description below. So yes, everybody, thanks for joining in. That's mainly it from our side. I hope you are enjoying these July daily challenges. If you are, please share with your friends. Do also subscribe to this channel, and leave comments pointing out what you liked, what you didn't like, what is there a better way of doing something. Yesterday somebody did point out a few better ways of doing the daily challenge number 3, so that's always good to see. So yeah, do point out, and I am looking forward to see your comments, and looking forward to see more and more of you sign up for the daily challenges. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you.